let's play a game. Do you know the story of Jeff the Killer? The internet treated it like legend, a creepy pastor lost in the depths of horror forums. But some stories... they were erased, so no one would remember. Because Jeff was real. And he's still out there. All of this started with a move. It was the kind of change that shakes up your whole life, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. At night, the woods would come alive with noise and whatever else lurked out there. The cell signal also died after sunset. None of that mattered, though, because Jeff was used to it. During recess, 3 older boys cornered him on the playground. Randy, Troy, and Keith, the local bully. They made fun of his clothes, his hair, even the way that he breathed. But Jeff just kept smiling. It was a polite smile, even friendly, which pissed off the bullies. Troy screamed with a broken hand. Keith just ran. Jeff stood there, shaking. He spent hours locked in the bathroom. Blood was dripping from his face, hands cut, and he was smiling. The firefighters arrived quickly, but it was too late. Jeff's face was melting. His hair was burnt. His skin was pale as wax. It wasn't a polite smile or a friendly smile, but rumors spread. Screams were heard in the middle of the night in distant neighborhoods. Families were found mutilated along rural roads. A cult began to form. Teens mutilated themselves to be like him. They spread his message. Never sleep. He sees you when your eyes close. According to him, Jeff's story had been covered up by the government. The schools hid the attacks. The hospital never reported the fire. The police silenced witnesses. And there was something more. Authorities shut down the sites, but new ones popped up. He's back, and he's watching you now. Don't turn off the lights. Don't close your eyes. And above all, never sleep. Marcus disappeared a week later. Entire families are slaughtered with kitchen knives. No fingerprints, no lead. And at every scene, there's a broken mirror and a note. Go to sleep. If you're hearing this, it might already be too late. Always with the same phrase, Jeff is awake. Children claimed to see a white-faced man with open eyes. At night, some said he was a spirit, others a trained killer. But the truth was much worse. Jeff was still just a man. And he was getting better. Next to her, there was a note written in blood. Go to sleep. The second was a child from the pediatric wing. Security cameras showed her sitting up in bed and staring into the darkness. Seconds later, the footage cut to black. The next day, only scratch marks remained on the wall. Phew. And please, don't forget to share this video with your friends. See you soon. Bye. When he woke up, he refused to look at the mirror. Now, I'm perfect, he said. That night, Jeff vanished from the hospital, and the nightmare began. But one night, still with fresh stitches, he got out of bed and looked. The nurses saw him in the reflection. They heard his mother scream in the hallway. When they arrived, Jeff was standing in front of the shattered mirror. he had carved his own face. It was a grotesque smile, a smile that had no business being on a kid's face. Jeffrey Woods was just a normal boy, or at least that's what it seemed. He had hollow eyes, always seemed so tense. His mother said it was just shyness, but the teachers said there was something in his eyes, something that wasn't sadness. It was hunger. His parents couldn't afford their home anymore, and his dad had recently lost his job. So, to make ends meet, they moved to a cheap house in a secluded neighborhood. One of them asked, poking his chest. Jeff kept smiling until Randy pulled a knife. That's when everything fell apart. It was like he turned into an animal, but not an animal that snarled or hissed. It was something much more terrifying, something predatory. It pounced, sank its teeth in, and tore its prey apart. So let's rewind time and get to the beginning. Their new home was in a remote area surrounded by forests and old hiking trails. He was 13. He was quiet. Things started to change when the family had been living in their new home for about 2 weeks. It was the second week at the new school. Aren't you going to fight back? Jeff didn't scream. He didn't run. He lunged. It was like something inside him snapped. In seconds, 2 of the boys were on the ground. Randy was bleeding from a prep. The police arrived and called it self-defense. But something on Jeff's face said otherwise. After that, he changed. He stopped talking. One day, his mother heard screaming. She ran to his room and found the bathroom on fire. Jeff was inside laughing. He was taken to the hospital between life and death. With a knife, he had sliced in a wide smile from ear to ear. His eyes were burned and without eyelids. They stared blankly ahead. The first victim was a nurse, Peach. She was found dead the next morning with no eyes. Jeff vanished for months. Police never found him. Years later, a dark forum appeared. People claimed to have spoken with Jeff. They had photos, messages, videos. In 2017, a retired detective named Marcus Neri released a secret dossier. In the final paragraph, Marcus wrote, "I saw Jeff with my own eyes. He hasn't aged. He saw me and smiled. Today, more than 20 years after the fire, similar cases keep appearing. Maybe you've dreamed of him. That white face, the lidless eyes, the slashed smile. If you have, it's no coincidence. And now we have a question for you. Did you feel it? Have you seen him? What did you see? Share your thoughts below.